Yes, we can.
Okay, yes. So, hi everyone, good evening. I'm also a student of Napiant Analytics. I just recently concluded my data analytics program with Napiant. Um, Before I started, I was like, am I sure I want to do this? Because I had done one data analytics course with one very popular firm, and I didn't find like I didn't think it was something I wanted to do, right. So I just like left it aside until I got the opportunity again to do this one. And when I started, I was a bit I was so expectant of what will I gain out of this, because the money I'm paying is not small money, right? And my salary before was like I was barely surviving. So I had to even borrow part of the money I used to pay for the course from my mother. And she was like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes. So when I paid for the course and I joined, I started attending classes, and I got insights on how they operate, which was really interesting. Like, it's quite different from what I was used to. There were times for mentorship on Thursdays. There were Tuesday technical review sessions where you can ask questions and all that. So one of the best parts of the training for me was the mentorship sessions where the CEO of the program actually led us through how to optimize our LinkedIn, how to revamp our CVs, how to put ourselves out
Hello
there
guys.
beyond just learning data analytics. So it
Hello, can we hear me? The person speaking mentioned the CEO of the program. I said, and I thought that, I think that's a very good time to test my microphone. All right. So how are we doing today? Can we hear me loud and clear? If you can hear me loud and clear, type clear in the chat box. Type clear in the chat box before we move on with today's session. If you can hear me loud and clear, type clear in the chat box so we can go on with today's session. I need to know that you can hear me. All right. The session is for you. Session is for you. So I need to know that you can hear me loud and clear. Brilliant. Thank you, Chinwe, Rachel, Susan. Fantastic, fantastic one. All right, great. Um, so today is a very fantastic day, okay, because today is different. All right, different in the sense that what you're going to go home with today in terms of information, okay, is something that people pay for. And guess what? You're about to go home with it for free. All right, you're going to go home with it for free. And it's going to hover around interviews, okay? Interviews, especially in the tech ecosystem. So if 2025 is that year that you want to level up in tech, all right, this session is a session you truly need. But before we go ahead with today's session, I want to know where we are joining us from. Okay, I am joining you from Lagos, Nigeria. Let me know where you're joining us from. Are you joining us from Kenya, from Port Harcourt, Abuja, Ilorin, Ogun State? I want to know where you're joining us from. I'll be super glad. South Africa, Ghana, okay, Enugu. Victor said last Didi. Brilliant. Okay, that's fine. Join us from Ilorin. You're welcome. Kasile Goshias, Ogun State, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Ibadan. Brilliant. Nobody from Kenya. Where are our Kenyan brothers and sisters? All right. So while we await them, super glad to have you guys here. I am super, super excited to have you guys here, to even be here as well. So as people are joining us, okay, because I can see people still joining, I would love to know also if you are joining for the very first time. Okay, so if you are joining for the very first time, type the first time, okay, in the chat. And if you've joined our session in the past, this is not your first time, type regular. Okay, so I want to know, are you joining us for the first time? Already, I can see some familiar faces. All right, I can see some familiar faces already, but I want to know the first timers and those who are our regular guys. Okay, so if you've joined us before, you can type regular. Oh, I think the first timers are taking it away. Okay. It looks like today is for the first time. Okay, I can see one regular, two regulars. All right. But the first timers are taking it away. They are sweeping it um, full send. All right. Um, for the sake of those who are joining us for the very first time, I'll need to introduce, of course, after introducing the session, I would also need to introduce myself, introduce the brand, and then we can take it up from there. We came here today for some valuable information, and that is exactly what we are going to get. Now, while I'm doing the introduction, okay, while I'm doing the introduction, um, if you know that there is somebody that you think would benefit from a session like this, copy the link, send this to them. Okay, let them join and benefit as well while I introduce the session. So today we're going to discuss some of the misconceptions that people have when they go into a tech interview. There is a reason why I am not saying interview. Okay, there is a reason why I didn't call it interview and why I call it tech interview, because the tech ecosystem is so different from any other space that you'd find yourself in. Of course, there are similarities, but for you to thrive in the tech ecosystem, you need to be familiar with those, nitty gritties that you won't get from other spaces. Okay, so that's why I'm calling it tech interviews. All right, so discuss some of the mistakes, popular mistakes people make, and of course, I'll give you two things today, okay, that those are the things you need to remember forever. All right, going forward, those are the only two things you need to ace your interview. Okay, those are the only two things you need to ace your interview. Are we excited to be here today? Before I do my introductions, are we excited to be here today? I am excited. Let me type a yeah in the chat with a lot of ease. Okay, so I am excited, so I'll type a yeah in the chat. If you are, you can type it like myself as well. Okay, you can type it like myself. Okay, I can see the emojis from Sharon. Okay, I can see people say they're very excited to be here today as well. I am also super excited. So while you also show your own excitement, um I will I will go ahead, and introduce myself, especially for those of us who may be seeing me for the very first time. So my name is Muhammad Suleiman, and I am the COO here at Medians Analytics. I manage operations, and I have close on a decade of experience in the space. Um, all right. Um, I have a decade of experience in this space. Okay, I can see a funny question in the chat box, so that was what distracted me a little bit. All right, don't worry, I'll take questions as much as I can in today's session. All right, I'll take a lot of questions towards the end of today's session. Um, so as I was saying, I've had the opportunity to work with top organizations in the space. One of them, notably, was Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand. In fact, they used to be a sister organization with Ferrari up until about 2016. Wow, 20, how time flies. 2016 now seems like a very long time. That's almost 10 years ago, almost a decade ago. Alfa Romeo used to be a sister organization with Ferrari. Um, Back in the days. And like I said, I can see hands up. I will take questions. Okay, so let's relax. We've not started yet. Okay, so relax. We've not started. Okay, let me start. When I start, then you ask your questions. All right, I've not even started anything. So when I start, you ask your questions. All right. So as the session goes, just note down your questions. Okay, write it in a piece of paper so you don't forget. When I ask you to ask your questions, then you ask your questions, and then I'll give you answers. Okay, all the answers are here. They are here already. Don't worry. All right, moving on. I've had the opportunity to help almost 3,000 Africans transition from classroom to their very first tech job. and I've also been a LinkedIn data visualization top voice. I also transitioned into tech, all right, and which means you can do it too. I don't have two heads, okay. I'm not the smartest person on the globe, all right, which means you can do it too. Okay, so allow me to also introduce to you Naviant Analytics. So I'm doing this for the sake of the first timers, all right? I'm doing this for the sake of the first timers. So Naviant Analytics, as you can see on my background, Naviant, okay, if you're wondering what's in my background, that's our brand, and I'm proud of the brand, right? And what we do. So Naviant Analytics exists to fill a gap. That gap is the fact that Africans do not have access to premium tech training programs. And it is very evident if you ever have worked at the global level. Okay, while I was working with so many brands, what I discovered is that I am the only African on the team, or there is only a handful of Africans throughout the organization. We must change that narrative. Okay, and that is exactly why Nadiant Analytics exists. So if you're asked, oh, do you know the company called Nadiant Analytics? Yes, tell them that is why we exist. Okay, we exist to bridge that particular gap. And how are we doing it? To do it by empowering Africans in three career paths, okay, data analytics, data science, as well as business analysis. And I'll talk more in today's session about why we selected um, this particular career paths. And we don't just do it anyhow. We bring on board professionals who also transitioned into this space, and they will be the ones you'd work directly with on your own in your own journey to becoming a tech professional. So having said that, enough of the introduction, all right? Enough of the introduction. Let's get into why we are here today. All right. So what we're going to be doing today is straightforward and simple. All right, simple, straightforward. And guys, I want you to pay rapt attention, grab a pen and paper, take notes, write down questions. Towards the end of the session, I'll open the ground for questions, and I'll take as many questions as I possibly can, in today's session. So what we're going to be doing today is four things. And also, before I forget, lest I forget, ensure to keep an eye on the chat for the attendance form. There will be an attendance form while the session is ongoing. Okay. The moment it is posted in the chat box, I will inform you. You go ahead and fill out the attendance. Okay. What would you get by filling the attendance? Simple. You'll get my slides, and you'll also get the recording of today's session if you stay till the end of the session. All right, so ensure to fill out the attendance form when that is made available. Like I said, I'll let you know when it's available to fill it out. All right, so today we're going to cover four main areas. First off, what's that secret I want to share with you today? Now, take it or leave it. The secret I'm going to be sharing with you today is something people pay for. And today I just decided, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to gatekeep, right? And you'll see the reason why there is no need for me to gatekeep this information I'll be sharing with you today. Okay. I'll also share with you some success stories of some of our previous participants who passed through our program and they've gone on to get their jobs. And I'll also explain to you how we offer some of the extra layered supports that you won't get elsewhere apart from a premium tech brand, and of course a special package meant for you. All right, so let's get into it straight away. First, what's the secret to acing any job interview? Okay, but to give it a bit of context, right? To give it a bit of context, let me ask you this question first off, because the theme for the year is you leveling up. You must level up in 2025. So do you want a remote job in 2025? Type it in the chat, yes or no. I want to see. Do you want a remote job in 2025? Let me see it in the chat. Fantastic, fantastic. I can see the yeses. Okay, I will be shocked if there is anybody, okay, that says no. All right, I would love to. I would love to know if there's anybody that will say no. Okay, so that I see the reason why you don't. I mean, I don't see any reason why you won't want a remote tech job, not just a remote job, a remote tech job in 2025. Now, guess what? Okay, for you to get a remote tech job in 2025, you must ace your interview. You must ace your interview. There is no way you are getting a tech job without passing through an interview, whether you apply to the job or not. I'll say that again. There is no way you are getting a tech job without acing your interview. Okay, whether you apply to the job or not, because it's possible for you not to apply to a job and get called for an interview for that job. Happens all the time. And guess what? If you stay to the end of today's session, you'd see two persons, okay, joined our program. They did apply to the jobs and they got the job. All right. So now that we understand that, you need to ace your tech interview, right? What are people doing wrong? What do people think? Okay. What do people think? What do people assume? All right. What are they doing wrong? So allow me to present this to you. Okay. Allow me to present this to you. Let me grab my laser. First off, okay, people think that recruiters are interested in your personal info during an interview. All right. Like I said, because I can see Uthman, your hand is up. If you have any questions, please kindly note the question down. Towards the end of the session, I'll open the ground for questions so that you can ask questions. All right. So that we don't distract or disrupt the session. Thank you very much as we comply. Now, a lot of people think that recruiters are interested in personal information. Oh, 2 days ago was my birthday. I'm from Kogi State. I'm from so local. Nobody cares. All right. Recruiters do not care about that. In fact, recruiters do not really care about your educational background. Okay, recruiters don't care about it. Oh, I graduated from University of Ilorin. I graduated from Unilag, and all that. The only time it is relevant is if you want to mention it either as either because your educational background directly fits into the job role, or maybe you got a first class. Okay, so it sounds more like an achievement that you're sharing with them rather than merely your educational background. If I make sense, I hope I'm making sense, guys. Am I making sense? I need to know I'm making sense. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? So fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Now, a lot of people think that recruiters, they want to know when they say tell us about yourself. You think they want to know, oh, I am 30 years old, I am this years old. Okay, somebody said I should come again. All right, so that's why I'm also recording the session. Okay, but what I'm saying, the point is, recruiters don't need your personal information. They don't care about your or let me not say they don't care. They are not interested in your date of birth. They are not interested in how old you are. They are not interested in where you come from. Okay, they are not interested in what school you attended. Okay, what course you read. They are not interested in that. They are not even interested in um, the certificates you have. Okay, don't worry, you get to see what they're interested in, because you may be wondering, so what do they want me to tell them about myself if they're not interested in none of those things? All right. Well, so many people make this mistake and then you go into an interview, and I see it a lot. All right. People say, um, I graduated in 2009, and after that, I went on to do my master's. I did my master's in agriculture. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, nobody wants to hear that. Now, guess the second mistake people make. Look at my laser. You go into an interview and guess what? You make a blatant mistake of being humble. Okay, Nigerians will say, make I not too loud down. Okay, you see, I wrote it there. Make we know loud down. Am I correct? You don't want to loud it, right? And that costs you that interview. Okay, Augusta is laughing. You know what loud down. See, whenever you walk into an interview, drop everything I want to be, anything that has to do with I want to be humble. Drop it. Now I'm not saying you should walk into the interview and you insult the panelists, okay, the panel of the interviewers. No, that's not what I mean. Right? What I mean is don't belittle yourself. Be confident. Okay? Any small thing, okay, any of those little achievements that you've achieved in your career so far, loud it, exaggerate, right? So that is what helps you to ace the interview. Okay, you must loud it. What did I say? Can't hear anybody. What did I say just now? I can't hear anybody. Can somebody say it in the chat? You can type it in the chat. Okay, I want to know you are following. All right. So exactly, you must loud it. Okay, or you can say louder. Okay, if that drives home my point, you must loud it, right? So don't go there and keep quiet and say, I didn't talk about it because it's a small thing now. I just connected the computer to the server and then it worked. You just connected the computer to the server and then it worked. No, craft a whole scenario around it and tell them what you've been able to achieve. Okay, don't be humble about your achievements. That's the second mistake a lot of people make. And last but not the least, you go into an interview without speaking with an expert in that field. See, don't worry about where you get an expert from. But however it is you're thinking about this third point right now, if you go into a tech interview on your own, you feel, oh, you've prepared enough. Okay, oh, I've listened to what Muhammad has said, bro. Then I think I can just prepare, myself and walk into the interview. That's a big mistake. You must always get guidance, and that's why mentorship is second to none when it comes to getting yourself into the tech ecosystem. These are mistakes I myself has made. Okay, so that I'm the one hosting this session today does not mean I didn't commit these errors as well. So I made these mistakes myself. Okay, you think I'm a very smart person. Yes, you are. By all means, you are a very smart person, right? But where experience comes in, you can't replace experience with talent. Okay, you can't replace experience, okay, with mere talent or smartness. So you must get that expert guidance, expert interview preparation before any, I repeat, before any job interview. Okay, so it means if you have 10 interviews coming up, how many interview preparation should you get yourself? Who knows the answer? Let's assume you have 10 interviews coming up. How many preparation do you need for those interviews? Fantastic, John. You need 10, you need 10 interview preparations. That's the key. You need 10 interview preparation. And the reason is simple. Every job posting, okay, is unique. It's like a fingerprint. It is unique. What an organization needs from you as a talent is quite different from what any other organization would need. Even if the roles on the surface are the same, they may say, oh, we're looking for a data analyst, oh, we're looking for a data scientist, oh, we're looking for a business analyst. Yes, basically they are the same thing, but they have some specific needs that you can only focus on that when you when you when you when you are ready to get the job, okay? You're ready to ace the interview, then you need to focus on those unique areas pertaining to those job interviews. All right. Now, now that we know what people are doing wrong, so what do we do? Right? That's the logical question, isn't it? So, okay, you've pointed out some of the things we do wrong. So, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? Now, here's what you do. I will share two frameworks with you guys. Okay, I'll share two frameworks with you guys. And I would want you to super pay attention to what I'm about to share with you. So let's go into the first framework. Now, guys, and I want you to engage. Okay. Meanwhile, the attendance form is now in the chat box. If you open the chat box, you see a blue link. That is the attendance form. Do well to fill it out while you are on this call. Okay. Click on the link and click, type, fill it out. You get the recording, you get my slides. I would also want you to stay till the end so you can have the opportunity to benefit from some of our offers and also ask some beautiful questions. All right. Now, guys, can you see what's on my screen? Can you see what's on my screen? Can you see what I'm presenting? Now, my question to you is, how many of you know how to play chess? Okay. Abdurrahman Usman cannot see my screen. Now, if you can't see my screen, you need to step out of the call and step back in, okay, and see if that fixes the issue for you, Abdurrahman. All right. So, how many of you can play chess? I want to know where are the chess players in the house? Can you play chess? Yes or no? Can you play chess? Who can play chess? If you can play chess, let me know. Maybe one of these days we can connect and maybe play some chess. But there is something I'm driving at, okay? So let's play it. Let's play along. Who can play chess? Can you play chess? Oh, Hando, you can play. I would love to play chess with you one of these days. All right, you can reach out to me. Let's see if we can play some chess. I can't, but I'm willing to learn. Fantastic. I love people like you, Eniola. Oh, somebody says I can play very well. All right, you see those kind of people? Those are the kind of people I run away from. Okay, you told me you can play very well. I run. So, but what's the point? Where am I driving to? All right, where am I driving to? What comes to your mind? This is regardless of you knowing how to play chess or not. What comes to your mind when you hear chess? One word, just one word, guys. One word. What comes to your mind when you play chess? Just one word. Strategy. Fantastic. Okay, let's keep it coming. Oh, strategy again. Tactics. Smart. Taking your chances. Checkmate. Focus. Smart. Tactics. Fantastic. Let's keep it coming. I want to see what you guys think. Critical thinking. Brilliant. What again? What again? Let me see. Formation. Bishop. Calculating. Exactly. Focus. So predicting moves, being ahead, battle. Let me clap for all of you. I need to clap for you guys. Let me clap for you. Let me clap for you. Okay. I need to clap for all of you. I mean, you guys have answered brilliantly. Brain, fantastic, wisdom. So if you look at the way we are thinking about chess, right? It revolves around you preparing, okay? Being tactical, being strategic, thinking logically, wisdom, having a brain, battle, and all of that. You need to prepare. But guess what? Interviews are like a chess game. And a job interview is like a chess game. It's like a game of chess. But guess what? You as the interviewee, okay, the interviewee meaning you are the one being interviewed, okay? All those big English, don't worry. All right. You are the one who is going to be interviewed most of the time, okay? So you in that position, you have the upper hand, you have an advantage. Do you know why? Because you always have the first move. Okay, you always have the first move. So in any job interview that you find yourself, all right, you are always at an advantage because you have the first move, right? You have the first move. So what's the first move? That's a logical question that you would want to ask. What is the first move? Now, any job interview that you find yourself, you would likely be asked, first thing first, can you tell us about yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Um, can we meet you? Some people ask it this way. Some recruiters ask that way. Oh, can we meet you? And the reason they are asking this question is simple. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Does anybody here know why a recruiter would ask you, even after you sent your CV in an interview, they will ask you to tell us about yourself? Does anybody know why? There are actually two reasons. Two reasons. Okay, somebody said because it is remote. Somebody said sell yourself. They want to know your level of confidence. Okay, something like you pitching yourself. Okay, what you really think about yourself. I can see very evaluating your communication skills. They want to know if you sound as you appear on paper. Okay, how you present yourself, intelligence, how you define myself. Brilliant. So you guys have a very good idea, all right, about the reasons why they ask you the question. But guess why they ask? They ask you this question because they want you to start talking and get comfortable. Any professional recruiter, guys, listen to what I'm about to say. Any professional recruiter knows that interviewees get nervous normally. So they want you to start talking about something they are sure that you know. In fact, it is best known to you. You know it more than them. So they want you to start talking about that thing so you get comfortable. That is the primary reason why they ask you to introduce yourself. And of course, all the other reasons that you have mentioned follows. Okay, but the primary reason, if there is a single reason why a recruiter would ask you to tell them about yourself, it is because they want you to talk about something they are sure you know very well so that you get comfortable and actually be free to have a conversation with them. Okay, does that make sense? Are we making sense here, guys? So many people don't know this, all right? Um, and they go in there, they ask you to introduce yourself, and then you flop. Okay. Now, since you know that you have the first move and they would likely ask you to introduce yourself, why not take the initiative and prepare a compelling introduction? Because guess what? With the way you introduce yourself, you as the interviewee can now dictate the pace of the interview. You can hijack the interview, all right, such that the questions they had initially prepared, they first move it aside. They might ask later, but they move it aside and focus on some of the fantastic things that you have mentioned, okay, and then that piques their interest. And because, of course, you would have preempted that they would ask some of these questions, you'd also prepare ahead, to answer such questions. Somebody saying, I can't hear anything anymore. Please, guys, if you can hear me, type I can hear you clearly in the chat so that I confirm that I am loud and clear. Just type I can hear you so that I confirm. Okay, brilliant. You can hear me clearly. Okay, fantastic. All right. So your job, okay, before getting a tech job, your job is to ensure that you always have a compelling way you introduce yourself. And this goes even beyond interviews. You may find yourself in a function, okay, unannounced in a function, or you find yourself an opportunity could present itself, and the barrier between you and getting that opportunity is introducing yourself in an articulate manner. All right, and then you go there and you flop, and you may not even know that you just lost an opportunity, right? So that's how it goes beyond interviews. But yes, within an interview, it is important that you um understand how to introduce yourself. And when I say introduce yourself, okay, there are some things the recruiters want to hear, and they are just four. Okay, there are some things that, yes, the attendance has been posted. Okay, you can see it in the chat just after your question. If you see the attendance, so click on the link and sure to fill out the attendance. All right. Now, as I was saying, um, sorry, I lost my chain of thoughts. Right. There are four things the recruiter wants to hear whenever they tell you introduce yourself. They, like I said, they don't care about where you come from, um, what side of the ocean you are living, um, what school you went to, your age, your date of birth, whether today is your birthday or not. They don't care about that. Only four things, all right? And those things are, we've abbreviated them to call them the SEAT approach. Okay, SEAT, SEAT. So whenever you want to introduce yourself, just remember that thing you normally sit on. You know that thing you used to sit on that they call SEAT, SEAT. Once you can remember that, you should be able to introduce yourself in a compelling manner. So the next question is, what is the SEAT approach, right? What is SEAT? It's an abbreviation, like I said. And S stands for skills. The recruiter is not bothered about any other thing. Okay? They want to know, what skills do you have? All right? What skills do you have? And when you're saying the skills, when you're mentioning the skills, you must always ensure that the skills conform with what they are looking for. Okay? As much as you can, it should reflect a coherence with what the recruiter is looking for. The next thing the recruiter cares about is your experience. Okay? How many years of experience do you have? And so on and so forth. I know so many people will be asking, okay, I'm just getting into tech. Where do I get experience from? Don't worry, that's another chapter that I would address, right? They want to know about your experience, okay? Your experience. They also want to know about your achievements, okay? You can see SE for experience, A for what? Achievement. They want to know about your achievements. And this also further um, buttresses my point when I say you should not be humble in an interview. So it's a golden opportunity for you to, blow your trumpet, seize it, and take advantage of it. Tell them your achievement, no matter how small it may sound. Amplify it. Okay, amplify it and tell them that, look, if it was not for the skills I had in that company and where I was working, okay, they would have gone bankrupt. And you explain the reasons behind, the things that you did and how it saved the organization. All right, no matter how small. Okay, achievement, SEA, and then T stands for traits. Okay, traits. Some people call it type of person. It's the same thing. Okay, traits, type of person. That's your personality, who you are. All right, and guess who you want to be in an interview? You want to be the person they are looking for. Okay, yes, it's good to say, oh, I like, during my free time, I like drinking Gary. I like watching a movie. Those things are good, right? But always research the company's core value. Okay, I'm realized now. All right. So always don't mind me. I love making jokes. Okay. So my point is always ensure you research who is that ideal person that they want to fill that role, and that is who you want to be in that interview. Nobody else. Okay. Nobody else. And that is it. These are the four things the recruiter wants to hear about you. So whenever you're asked, can you tell us about yourself, especially in an interview or in a tech environment, talk about the skills you have. Oh, I know how to use Excel, Power BI, Python, all those things. All right. So and I've had the opportunity to work for about 3 years. Okay, and in that time I was opportunity Okay, and then your achievements. We talk about one of my most notable achievements when I automated the reporting system that yielded the company immense value. Okay, their revenue grew over 100%, meaning more than 2 times. Okay, within the space of 6 months. That's a very good achievement to mention in a job interview, right? And of course, you move into the traits which I talked about. So don't. Of course, you can mention things personal about yourself here. But I love to play football, you know. But you also want to ensure that the things you are saying resonates with the company that you are interviewing with. All right. So having said that, the next thing, guys, are you enjoying the session? 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 All right, brilliant. So the next thing you want to ensure that you you prepare ahead of is this, right? Now they've asked you to introduce yourself. You've done a fantastic job. You've done a fantastic job introducing yourself in a compelling manner. And now you're interested. You've gotten their attention. You've gotten the attention of the recruiter. They would start to ask you questions about the things you said. Oh, you said they automated the reporting system that 2x the revenue of the company that you worked with. Can you tell us more about that project? Now, it will be a huge blow on you if you aren't able to effectively explain your achievements, at least, right? So you said you did something this wonderful. Oh, tell us about it, and then you're struggling. That's a red flag. Okay, that's a red flag. So, how do you prepare for such questions when you are asked? So, okay, share that experience with us. Oh, you said you did this. Can you tell us more about it? Oh, can you tell us a time when you solved a problem within your team? Oh, can you tell us a time? Whenever you are asked a question around sharing your experience, you want to use the STAR approach. And that is the second framework we'll be talking about today. STAR approach is always used when you want to talk about a time you did something. It's used predominantly for sharing an experience. So when they ask you, tell us a time you did ABC, they also need to hear just 4 things. It's 4 things they need to hear. Okay, any other thing you're talking about is useless. Okay, take it from me like that. Any other thing aside these 4 things I'll be mentioning, which forms the STAR approach whenever you're asked to share an experience, any other thing aside this is practically useless in that interview. So, what are the things the recruiter wants to hear? First is also an S, and this time it stands for situation. The very first thing when you want to share an experience, the very first thing you want to talk about is the problem that was on ground. What was the issue? What was the scenario? There should be a story around what the problem that you solved, right? So, oh, you did something. Why did you do it? There should be something that leads to that thing you did. Okay, in this case, I'm using an automated reporting system, which I mentioned earlier. So you want to mention something around, oh, when I got into the organization, I discovered that reporting is done on a monthly basis from scratch. So I wanted to automate the whole process. You've clearly said the situation. In that 2 sentences that I just said, I have explained the situation, and that's what they want to hear. The next thing they want to hear is the task. Okay, the task. Now, task is the T in the STAR approach. Okay, I want you to listen to something very well. Listen here, very, very attentive. After task, they want to hear action. You don't ask me, Mohammed, task and action, what's the difference? Come closer, come closer to your screen so that you see the difference. How many of us know how to make a bar? How many of us know how to make a bar? How many of us know how to make a bar? You know how to make a bar. I'm not a good cook, okay, but I know how to cook a bar. So I want to use a bar as a scenario. So that's what I'm asking. How many of, okay, quite a number of us. Very good. All right. So If you are to make a bar, what are the steps you would follow? Okay, you don't if no, so you see Victor give me a thumbs down, meaning Victor does not know how to make a bar. So if you were to help Victor make a bar, okay, you send Victor a message on WhatsApp, you list the steps Victor has to take to make the eba, right? Oh, first, put a pot of water um, on the. Somebody says it seems I like Gary. Please don't go around saying I like Gary. All right. So that aside, right? Now, imagine you want to help Victor make eba. The best way would be to list out the steps, right? To list out the steps. Okay, to list out the steps. Oh, first put water on fire. What's the next thing? You get your gari. Are you going to wash the gari or you just put it inside the boiling water? Or how is it again? Guys, remind me. But you know those steps, right? You know the steps. Then to get to a point where you now start turning the ember, okay, so that it does not become anyhow. Exactly. So those steps, okay, that is called task. The things Victor has to do to make the error or to solve the problem is what you call task. Are we together, guys? Are we together? Now, Victor knows the step he's meant to take to make the error or to solve the problem in this case. But when Victor started to make the error, of course, there's some things may happen. Okay, it may be that when Victor was trying to light light the stove, you discover that the stove is worn out and it's no longer lighting, and you had to manually light the stove, okay, using a lighter. That would form the things that actually happened, the eventualities that happened would then form your actions. Oh, when I started to um, ask for where the data is located, I discovered that the data was located in silos and I had to first solve for that. Okay, so Victor had to first solve for lighting the stove even before putting water on the stove. So the things that actually happened will form the action. Okay, what did you have to do? What did you go through? If there were any challenges you faced, this is what you mentioned. All right, and then finally, what the recruiter wants to hear is the results. Were you able to make the air by the end of the day? Okay, how are you on a scale of 1 to 10? How did the air come out? This is where you want to mention things around numbers. Oh, uh, you know, as at the time I finished the automating the reports, okay, it increased efficiency from 80% to close to 100%, okay, and it doubled the company's revenue within the first 6 months of application. All right, so somebody, all right, somebody says something in the chat. That's what's making me laugh. Okay, pardon. So result is an important aspect of the things you need to mention in an interview whenever you're asked to share an experience. So any other thing aside these things that you're mentioning, oh, you went to plug your laptop somewhere, all right, before you were able to connect to the SAP, all those ones irrelevant. Okay, so you need to mention focus on the situation. What was the problem you're trying to solve? What were the things you needed to do? What was the task? And what were the things you actually did? And then what was the result? And ensure your result is always quantified. Spit numbers. Okay, spit out numbers, percentages, right? Comparisons. So this is how the recruiter knows that yes, you are a true tech talent and you know exactly what you are up to. Are we together, guys? Are we together? So those are the things. Okay, these are two things that you need to know before you get into an interview. Okay, if you don't know these things, you are likely going to grapple in a lot of interviews and rejections after interviews and all of that. All right, so you don't want to find yourself in that situation. So, good for you. You are in today's session, and I hope you are able to pick one or two things from the session. Now, guess what? Let's come back to reality. You've been you've been you've been fantasizing about you being in an interview. Now let us come back to reality. What's the reality? Before you even get into this interview, guess what? You need a tech skill. Okay, that's the truth. So you want to level up in tech, you want to ace a tech interview. You can't apply these things that we talked about, the SEAT approach, the STAR approach, unless you have a tech skill. Okay, unless you have a tech skill. And for you to select a tech skill, all right, you must ensure that it ticks these three boxes. If you are selecting a tech skill, if you are selecting a tech skill, apologies about that, you need to ensure that it ticks all these three boxes on my screen. It must be easy to learn. It must be easy to transition, and then it should have fantastic salary projections, except if you don't like money. So if you're the type that you don't like money, you can skip the third one, okay? You can skip the third one, all right? But sadly, there is no tech skill that does not come with fantastic salary projections. So that's a good one to even start with, right? So we have made it easy for you, right? By coming up with some career path that ticks these three boxes. So what do I mean by easy to learn to even start with? Easy to learn simply means that regardless of your background, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you currently work 9 to 5, or you've been out of job for like the past 4 years, you have a degree, or you don't have a degree, you've been a goalkeeper for the past 4 years, now you want to get into tech, um, you're a fresh graduate, you want to take the initiative and start with tech, any of these categories you find yourself in, guess what? You must look for a career path that is easy to learn. Now, not just easy to learn, it must also be easy to transition. Meaning that, okay, goalkeeper again, exactly. Yes, you can transition from being a goalkeeper to getting into tech. All right, I know a couple of people who have done that within my circle. Okay, from mechanic to tech bro. All right, so a lot of people make that transition, right? So now, easy to transition simply means that the tech career path you are choosing should be high in demand. Okay, it should be high in demand. Okay, and high in demand is relative. Okay, and I'll explain later as we go ahead with the session. All right, high in demand is relative, and I'll explain that as we go ahead. Last but not the least, must have fantastic salary projections. Okay, fantastic salary projections. So once the career path ticks these three boxes all at once, that is the career path you need to choose. All right, and you may want to know what these career paths are, and they are either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. Data analytics, data science, or business analysis. And the reason here at Nebiant Analytics, why we even chose these three career paths, is what I've told you. Because they tick those three boxes, especially if you are an African. Okay, especially as an African. All right. So if you're an African, you're looking to get into tech, don't go the route Indians go through. Okay, Yes, you learn the skill, you can learn to become maybe a software developer, and all of that, but it's going to take you ages to break into tech. Okay, so what you want to do is direct your gaze towards either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. And the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2023, okay, projected that by 2027, the demand for these three career paths you're looking at would have increased by an additional 30 to 35%. Let me explain. What it simply means is that right now it is high in demand, but that demand is going to still increase additionally by about another 30 to 35%. Meaning, if the high in demand we're talking about now is currently maybe 60%, it's going to be around 95% by 2027. So the best time for you to break into one of these career paths is now. And guess what? The Future of Jobs report for 2025 is also out. It came out last month. All right, it's also out, and we can talk briefly about that. Okay, so and I've included the link here as well. So the Future of Jobs report 2025 is now projecting to 2030. Now, what are the fastest growing jobs between now and 2030? And if you look very closely at the highlighted jobs, you see that they are data centric. Okay, this is like the top 10, top 15. Okay, and you can see big data specialist, data analyst and scientist, data warehouse specialist, AI and machine learning specialist. All right, so these are fast growing career paths, and you need to key into this um, um, right now. Okay, if you're wondering what the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report is, it's a text. Okay, it's an article that is curated by one of the world's strongest individuals. Okay, politicians, captains of industries, billionaires. They come together, every 2 3 years, and they come up with these reports called the Future of Jobs. Okay, to project into the future which jobs are likely to gain ground and which are likely to fold up. All right, so that should inform your choice. So now, do you want to know the difference between who a data analyst, business analyst, and data scientist is? Do you want to know? Because I need to know that you're interested. Do you want to know the difference between the three? Or you already know the difference? Or you want me to explain what the differences are very quickly so that you can choose which one suits you the best? All right. So, okay. So, majority of us want to know the difference. So, I want us to pay attention for another time again. Okay. So, pay attention again so that you can be able to choose. So while I'm explaining each of these career paths, I want you to picture yourself in one of them so that that allows you to choose well. Meanwhile, the attendance form is in the chat box. Ensure to fill it out so that you your details are recorded, and especially your email, your phone number, so that these things could be gotten across to you um, as at when due. All right, who is a data analyst? What's the job of a data analyst? Now, to understand the job of a data analyst, you need to be informed that there are four types of analytics. There are four types of analytics. You have the descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. You don't need to memorize them, don't worry. All you need to know is that the first two types of analytics are the job of the data analyst. So when you hear somebody call themselves a data analyst, this is their job: descriptive and diagnostic analytics. All right, and descriptive analytics simply means telling a story. about what happened. So as a data analyst, you get hold of the data, you summarize it into a story, form of charts and visuals, and then you tell the organization what happened. Oh, over the last couple of years, we've steadily grown our um, revenue by 10% year on year, but 2024 was a fantastic year, and notably, we employed Mohammed, and he changed everything within the organization, and we were able to increase our revenue by 50%. Okay, within the space of a year. So that is your job as a data analyst, to tell a story. And it doesn't stop at that. Diagnostic analytics is when you take it a step further to ask why did it happen? Okay, why? Oh, you said um, revenue increased by so and so percent. Can you tell us why that happened? Okay, and of course, it is not your own opinion you're going to be sharing. You're going to share the opinion of the data. So you're going to dig deep into the data to extract why these things happen. Somebody's saying my network is breaking. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. All right, confirm you can hear me clearly. Okay, all right. So possibly it's likely that your network is the one breaking. Let me check my network again. My network is super. Okay, so check your network. Okay, check your network to see if that is the problem. All right, my network is okay. All right, it's okay, it's usable. So please make sure to check your network. All right, okay. My neighbor, they hear you, Seth. Akintayo Basibe. All right, Okari. All right. So as I was saying, the job of a data analyst is what you can see on my screen: descriptive and diagnostic analytics. All right. And to become a data analyst, there are some things that you need to learn. You need to know how to use. You need to know how to use, a set of tools: Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, SQL, and ChatGPT, because we're in the era of AI. So if you do not know how to use these tools, you cannot call yourself a data analyst. All right, so you need to understand these tools. And for some of you who are familiar with some of these tools, all right, you may be thinking that, oh, well, yes, I understand that Excel is a fundamental tool for a data analyst. But Power BI, Tableau, and Looker Studio, don't they all do the same thing? Yes, they do the same thing, which is called business intelligence. Helps you to automate your reports and all of that good stuff. So why have we included all three in the program? The reason is very simple. As a data analyst, you need to be attractive to your potential recruiter. So we have deliberately put all three in the program so that even if the recruiter needs only Power BI, they need you to know only Power BI. By the time all is all said and done, they will pick you because you are the only one that also knows Tableau, Looker Studio, Excel, SQL, etc. Okay, so the other man who is competing with you for that same job does not know how to use, maybe only knows how to use Tableau, a little bit of SQL, but knows Power BI very well, which is what the company really needs. But they would hire you because you have more value to offer them than the next man. Okay, so that's the strategy here at Naviance Analytics. And I'll discuss more about the timing for the classes, the program, 3 months, and all of that. I'll discuss that. But let's move to the job of a data scientist. Remember, I talked about 4 types of analytics, and I said the first 2 is the job of the data analyst. Well, you're welcome. Second 2 is the job of a data scientist. So whenever you hear, oh, I am a data scientist, and so on and so forth, what the person is talking about is that they focus more on predictive and prescriptive analytics. Predictive and prescriptive analytics. Shakira, if you're on the call, please confirm you can hear me clearly. Sarela, if you're on the call, please confirm you can hear me clearly. So I know that. Okay, brilliant. All right, just the second layer of confirmation so that we know we are on the same page. Okay, brilliant. So when it comes to predictive and prescriptive analytics, that is the job of a data scientist. So the data scientist always wants to predict, of course, with data, okay, predict into the future what is likely going to happen. And once they see all the likelihood, all right, they can now make prescriptions as to what should be the action plan. All right, what should be the action plan? Okay, so if some people can hear me clearly and some people cannot hear me clearly, then you should check your network. All right, okay, it's impossible for my network to be crappy and some people can still hear me. All right, so please ensure to check your network. Okay, please check your network. Um, check your network, please. All right, thank you very much for that. So the data scientist focuses more on predicting into the future, what is likely going to happen, okay, in the future. And then once they've seen that, oh, our revenue is likely going to fall come 2030. Between now and 2030, our revenue will likely fall. Oh, what do you prescribe? So they also play out different scenarios and look for the scenario that works best, and that forms the prescription for the company you are working for as a data scientist. How cool is that? Okay, so that's the job of a data scientist. And to become a data scientist, you need to be familiar with some of these tools. All right, Excel again, very fundamental, but this time it's Excel for predictive analytics. So yes, you're learning Excel, which is same as the Excel, the data analyst learns, but you're learning to use it for something different, and that is predictive statistical analysis and all of that. So you'd also get to learn Tableau, Python. Okay, a lot of people running from Python, thinking Python is difficult, you need to memorize code and all of that. No, we are in the era of AI. Okay, and tools like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, and the likes, they write codes for you. So we have moved into the era of AI, and so many things are changing. So gone are the days where you need to really be able to reinvent the wheel on spot. Okay, so all you need now is the AI, and you have a good knowledge of the basics, and you are good to go. So no need to be scared of Python. You still get to learn SQL. You get to learn GitHub for version control. You get to learn ChatGPT as well. All right, you get to learn ChatGPT as well. Again, the attendance form is in the chat box. Do well to fill it out so that we are all on the same page. All right. And last but not the least, what's the job of a business analyst? Who is a business analyst? Now, a business analyst is a middleman. Let me grab my pen. Okay, a business analyst, this is the business analyst. Of course, business analysts are usually more beautiful than this in real life. So pardon my stigma. Okay, but this is the business analyst here. Okay, now the business analysts always find themselves in between two parties. Okay, party A are the business owners. Okay, CEO, founder. Okay, CEO, founder, owner on one side, and then on the other side they have the developers. Okay, developers. Okay, developers. Don't mind my handwriting. Handwriting is fantastic if I write it for your paper. All right, so developers. Okay, so these are people who design websites, you know, design softwares, develop softwares, and all of that. All right. Now, you as the business analyst, your job is to facilitate communication between these two people. Your job is like a middleman. So if you're on this call and you're that person that you know how to settle fights. Normally, you're a peacemaker. You can settle quarrel. Consider becoming a business analyst. Okay, you would love it. All right, you will love it. Now, as a business analyst, you need to have some skills. Okay, and those skills usually revolve around uh, documenting, you know, documenting, keeping track, managing projects, and of course, being able to communicate. Okay, your communication skill is second to none as a business analyst. Okay, and some of the things that you need to learn are you need to be familiar with some data analytics tools. Some data analytics tools. And this is something here at Mediant that you do not find anywhere else. So what we've done is that we have included a little bit of data analytics in our business analysis program, regardless. And the reason is that recruiters are funny these days, especially with business analysts. So they want to look for a business analyst who is comfortable with handling data. So for that reason, we dedicated the first month in our business analysis program to cover some basic data analytics tools. Of course, practically, all the things I'm talking about are practicals. You build stuff from scratch. Okay, so the first month you cover that aspect, and then the following months you cover the core business analysis framework. You talk about software development lifecycle, not software development, but software development life cycle. You need to know the life cycle. All right. And then you have gap analysis, simply analyzing where the company is currently and where the company wants to be, process mapping, agile methodology, which states you deliver projects incrementally rather than everything at once, okay, which is the old way of doing things. Then, of course, document, right? So your skills would hover around these things that I've mentioned. And all our programs here at Mediant Analytics are for 3 months, okay? And after the 3 months, you get to embark on a 1-month growth internship, okay? So you embark on the growth internship and you are able to test your skills yourself, okay, on some more real issues. So the way the classes work is weekends, all right, Saturdays and Sundays. So on after this explanation, I think I made a mistake in the attendance. Okay, so you can fill it again, please. You can fill it again with the correct career paths you want to pick. All right, you can fill it again. Okay, but this is me now explaining how the classes go. So regardless of the career path you choose, you get your classes on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for 3 hours. You have an instructor on the call, just like we are currently, for 3 hours, and you'd work on real work projects. And on Sundays, you get what we call our DID videos. Now, the DID videos, called the Do As I Do videos for short, these are self-paced videos. And it's been a game changer for us here at Mediant Analytics. How? You get these videos, okay, and you decide when you want to watch them. And but the key thing is through the week, okay, through the week during your program, you cover those videos, all right. You cover those videos, and those videos prepare you ahead of the next Saturday, so that when you get into class, you are able to participate effectively in solving a real world problem. All right, because in class, you're going to be predominantly working on real world scenarios, okay, and not theory. So if there's any theory you need to know, the DID videos would have covered it, and that would help you participate in class adequately. All right, so now, having understood how it all works, which career path you want to choose, you can type it in the chat. Okay, you can type it in the chat. Which career path do you want to choose? Data analytics, data science, or business analysis? I would love to know in the chat box. Let's see where are the data analysts in the house. Okay, so data analyst, business analyst, data analyst, business analyst. All right, brilliant, brilliant. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Which of them are you choosing? Oh, data scientist. All right, all right. So fantastic, fantastic. Now, guys, there are so many things I would have loved to show you. Okay, so many other things I would love to talk about. Talking about portfolios, because one of the things that even gets you the interview in the first place is having a compelling portfolio. Portfolio of projects that you've worked on that you can easily share with recruiters. All right, and these are some of the portfolios of our students. Okay, let's click on Lebura Alawale's portfolio. Let me quickly show you what it looks like. So when you get these slides, I want you to look at all of their portfolio. You can click on view portfolio so that you can see their portfolio. But let me show you Lebura Alawale's portfolio. All right, so once I click that, it loads it up and you get to see her portfolio. So that's Lebura Alawale. You can see her. And these are some of the projects she worked on here with us at Mediant Analytics. Now, she has this link everywhere. It's on her LinkedIn, it's on her social media handles, it's on her CV. So it is super easy for recruiters to come here without her even knowing. Okay, as I'm looking at it now, she doesn't know that I'm actually looking at it. And the recruiter sees this, is impressed, and invites her for an interview. All right, and that was exactly what happened. Okay, something very similar. And I'd love to show you each of them, okay, all of them, how their portfolio looks like. But I'll be overstepping the time allotted for today's session, and I wouldn't want to do that. So on top of all of these things that we offer, okay, we know that it is not enough for you to be so good technically. You need employability skills, okay? And the interview preparation I talked about at the beginning of the session comes under employability skills that you need to learn. So it forms part of our employability support that we offer you while you are training in our program. So we don't focus only on you knowing how to use Power BI, you knowing how to use Python and all of that. We also talk about and help you out, with employability. All right. So, and some of the things that we cover in our employability services range from mentorship. So you have weekly guidance and mentorship sessions. You have CV assessment, be able to assess your CV, and job matching as well. You have LinkedIn profile revamp. So a lot of us may not even know what LinkedIn profile is, but if you know, that's good. If you don't, then you'll be walked through on how to even build one and revamp the LinkedIn in such a way that it boosts your personal brand. For those of us who are looking to work remotely, you go through Upwork profile optimization. All right, you go through an Upwork profile optimization, helping you create an Upwork account so that you can get remote jobs easily. Then you have interview preparation, which was largely what we talked about today. So I won't be dwelling much on that. You have, but this interview preparation, all right? This means that we are ready to prepare you 10 times if you have 10 interviews. Okay, and the good thing is that you also have a lifetime access to Mediant Analytics, meaning that even after your program has finished, if you have interviews, we would prepare you for that interview at no extra cost. Now, you won't find this anywhere else apart from a premium brand that truly stands for you, to help you get that job at all costs. Precious, all you need to do is to fill out the attendance form, and that's all. Okay, fill out the attendance form, and that is all. You get my slides. All right. Now, I'm not done yet. You also get internship opportunity with us here at Mediant Analytics, and you become eligible to our reference and recommendation letters. It goes a long way in securing offers for you. Okay, it goes a long way in securing offers for you. And I would love to show you testimonials. Now, for those of us who were here earlier, okay, for those of us who were here earlier, you would have seen, you would have seen Lebura Olawale. Let me show you Lebura Olawale. Lebura Olawale joined our program. Okay, she even joined late back in August last year, and she um, posted this particular. That's I mean a cohort. She joined a cohort, I think a couple of days late, and 3 weeks into the program, she built this particular dashboard under the guidance of one of our fantastic professionals in house, Ayobami Yusuf. So Ayobami worked with her on this project. She built it and she posted it on LinkedIn. And guess what happened? She got a job. Somebody reached out to her for an interview. She got the job. Simple. So when we tell people that, look, these things work, they feel as if, oh, we have to this, we have to that. She was one of the persons who did not apply to the job and got the job. And ever since, she's been getting so many other opportunities. Okay. Very similarly, we have Uvwak, Basi, Grace. We call her Grace. All right. Grace, her scenario was interesting. She used to work with UBA. UBA heard that she got a job, she got an offer from Sparkle after joining our program. And Sparkle is offering her something very attractive, way more than what she gets at UBA. Guess what? UBA promoted her and increased her salary. All right. So Sparkle heard of this and also gave her an even better offer. And she went with Sparkle. Okay, because logically, if Sparkle can start out like this, what can you achieve within a year, within 2 years, working with Sparkle, compared to an organization that only gives you a promotion when they hear that you're about leave? All right. So, and I would love us to listen to both of them briefly. Okay, just listen to them for maybe the next 10 minutes, and um, at least let's listen to Lebron Alawali share experience so that you get to hear from the horse's mouth. And after that, I'll tell you exactly how you can also enroll in the program. Is that fine? I'll tell you how you can also enroll in the program, get your journey started, and start to do great things in the space. All right, because I can already see, oh, how do we register, and all of that in the chat. So let us quickly listen to Lebura Onawale at least. Okay, my screen should come up anytime soon. All right, so my screen will come up anytime soon now, and I would want us to listen carefully to Lebura Onawale speak. So let's see if that comes up quickly. So once you can see my screen, you let me know. It should come up anytime soon. Should come up anytime soon. All right. Okay, it's coming up. All right, it's coming up. So once you can see my screen, you let me know so that. All right, brilliant. So you can see my screen now. Okay, great. So can you see my screen, guys? Okay, brilliant. Let's allow it to. Okay, brilliant. All right, so let me take it to full screen and then play it.
It's the job. It is one thing.
So
Can you please give
once
a
the
round of
video
applause
plays,
to
if you can hear the audio, you can hear the audio. Okay, confirm in the chat that you can hear the audio so I know that you can hear what the video is talking about.
Our amazing Lebura Olawale, she did the job. It is one thing for you to apply for a program. It's another thing for you to hear what and do what they say you should do. She literally implemented every single thing that she was told here, and it granted her that job offer. So Lebura, the conversation is yours today. How has it been for you here at Nibiant Analytics?
Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be here to share my own journey. For me, it's been amazing. It's been incredible. Surprisingly, today, someone even sent me a chat. They had actually done their own course with another organization, and they were reaching out to me to say, oh, they think they want to sign up with Nibiant. And I'm like, oh, I thought you have done with XYZ. And the person made a statement. He said, I have seen your work and it's so different. And it tells me that these people have something they're giving out. And that's the unique thing. And first, I want to appreciate Mr. Ayobami. He always tells us that he has the OCD, but it's been amazing because he would make you pay attention to every single details. That's the great thing about him, you know, and that's one thing I think has been amazing for me working with Nibiants. The fact that you can reach out to them when you need help and they're willing to respond. The fact that when you're stuck, sometimes I send Mr. Ayobami, I'll send them messages like 12 midnight, you know, I'll drop messages when I'm trying to do something and they'll get back. They'll get back. They put you through. The hand holding is amazing. For example, personally, I joined the program when the program had started. I didn't start the program with them from the beginning because I didn't know. I was just having a conversation with a friend and I said, oh, I want to do this. And she said, oh, there's this company, but they've started. And I was like, I can catch up. And she said, oh, let me speak and see if they can sign you up. So I actually came in. The program had gone like a week or two before I joined, but the hand holding was amazing. Recently I had to share my portfolio with someone and the person was like, is this really your portfolio? Like, how many months did you say you've been on this program? Now, going back to how I was able to get an offer, it still comes back to the fact that you're made to pay attention to details. I remember doing that dashboard, and when I was done, I sent it to Mr. Ayo. He still told me, we still need to put one or two things through. This still needs to align. And I was just telling myself, what is wrong with Mr. Ayo? Please leave me alone. It's my first time. Do you want to kill me? And he kept saying, no, Mrs. Ola, we need to make this professional. This is good, but you can still align it like this. You can still do this, you know, so that's making sure that what you're doing is perfect. And by the time I put it out there, people didn't even believe it was my first dashboard I was putting out there. And then someone reached out to me and said, oh, they had a job they were supposed to do somewhere, and they wanted me to work with them on that job and do the data analysis part of it. For me, it was super because I didn't see that coming. And that was how, like I said, I paid money, but even before I finished the course, I got my money back because I got paid for that job. So I kind of got my money back. So for me, that was amazing. I like the fact that we have the, outside of our regular class, we still have the sections that are like the technical sessions. So yes, you've been taught, you have an opportunity of like 3 days to work, and then you're coming back for the technical sections with all your questions. And you have all your questions you're asking and you're getting all the guidance you have. I also love the fact that they have the mentorship section. So they're not just, now the beauty of it all is, in fact, the last time we had a conversation as a team, someone was sharing something, which is very true. What you learn here, for example, I'm an educator. I've been an educator for 17 years. I'm just coming into this tech. I mean, I started in August and I've gone far. Even what I have learned, I am still transferring it into my every other sector of my life, because what they bring forward to you is beyond the data analysis or data science. It's way beyond that. For example, I mean, I've had a LinkedIn profile. I have never understood the value of optimizing your LinkedIn. And that's something I got from here. Even ChatGPT, I have been using ChatGPT for a long time, but being with them, I have learned how to use it better. And I'm making a lot. Because now there are some things that people ask me to do. They don't know that the whole concept and everything, I'm getting it from them. So it's not just about the course. One, the hand holding is amazing. It's next to no. I've done data analysis. It's not my first time trying out data analysis. I've done it like 2-3 times, different places, but it never worked. But this, within 1 month, I've been wowed. Currently, in fact, I've just throughout today and I've been busy because someone reached out to me from Canada and they sent me a project to do, which I have been working on. So it's been a whole lot. It's been amazing. It's been, you know, it's interesting. For me, it's interesting for me to see how far I have grown. It's sometimes it's shocking for me because one of the things it's also done for me, it's made me very critical. So even I have a private business I run. So even in my business, I'm beginning to think. I'm thinking critical. I'm looking at different aspects of my business. I'm analyzing my business and I'm thinking, how do I grow my business? What do I need to improve? So I'm more analytical. I'm now realistically looking at my business, looking at how I change things, looking at how I improve. And for, like I said, Nebiant has been amazing. They've been so amazing. I mean, for every one of us that have been on this team, it's been super amazing for us. We've all been so amazing. They even throw lots of opportunities to you. I mean, opportunities for jobs and everything. It's great. It's awesome. And I don't regret it. I do not. I don't regret any single kobo I have spent. I have gotten more value than I even bargained for my money. So thank you.
I love the part where she said, the money I paid for the course, I have got.
All right, fantastic. Can we hear me? Confirm you can hear me, guys. Confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. All right, brilliant. So that was Deborah Alawale. Okay, that was Deborah Alawale who just spoke. The video also contains Grace's testimonial as well. You'll hear from Grace. All right. But the key thing is, how do you also get the tech skill, get the opportunity to enter into an interview? You heard when she mentioned, we can hear you. Okay, brilliant. All right. So you heard when she mentioned about somebody reaching out to her, you know, for an interview. So even if she mentioned it succinctly in a way that it may look so easy, as if she just walked into the interview and walked out and the job was waiting for her, there is a lot of preparation that goes into, you know, acing an interview, okay, which she benefited. And guess what? They are done. Both of them are done with their program. They already have jobs. If they have another interview coming up, all they need to do now is just to reach out to us and we'll prepare them for that interview without collecting any dime from them anymore. So on the long run, okay, in as much as you are ready to get into tech in 2025, there is no other platform that is better than Debiant Analytics to help you get into the tech space. All right, there are so many other things that I'd love to talk about, you know, and the likes, you know, this is Oluwaseun Joe, you know, this is Amaka Anyango. There are so many of them, and I would love you to listen to their testimonials. All right. Well, I would love to tell you how you can join our program come March. Okay. So February 1st class has already begun. Okay. So this particular class has already begun. All right. So the next class starts in March. Okay, the next class starts in March. All right, March the 8th. So now this is me asking you, how many of us want to start our program in March? So instead of 1st of February, it is 8th of March. Okay, 8th of March. Okay, let's keep it that way. 8th of March. So how many of us want to start our program come the 8th of March? How many of us want to start our program come the 8th of March? Because you can be the next Deborah Alawale, you can be the next Udwa, you can be the next to get a job. Okay, Deborah Alawale got her first job 3 weeks into the program. Okay, and that can happen for you also, with the right positioning and the right guidance from us. So you're set to kickstart your journey into getting into tech by the 8th of March. This is what you need to know. Okay, now there's an offer on ground. Okay, but let me start from the full amount. So regardless of the program you choose, okay, the full cost, the normal cost of the program is 350,000 naira. All right, 350,000 naira. But for those of us who are on the call right now, for the first 10 people on the call right now, I'm not taking more than 10 people. Okay, I'm not taking more than 10 people for this call. Okay, because there are only 10 slots left. You'll get a discount of about that. If you do the mathematics, it's about 80,000 naira discount. Okay, and you will just need to pay 270,000 naira, and that's not all. You don't need to pay the 270,000 naira at once. You can break it into 3. You can break it into 3. Now let me tell you how you break it. Now for tonight, okay, you can pay the first installment. If you direct your gaze to this point, let me grab my laser. You direct your gaze here, okay. The first installment of 70,000 naira secures your discount, and that happens tonight. I know I have first 20 people here, but just first 10 people, just 10 people on this call tonight, not 20, first 10 people on the call tonight get this offer. All right, you secure a slot with 70,000 naira tonight, okay, and then by the end of February, okay, all right, balance with another 100,000 naira. All right, that makes it 170. And then you are eligible to start on the 8th of March. On the 8th of March, disregard the 1st of February that is here. On the 8th of March, you get to start you get to start the program after the second installment. Then 1 month into the program, at the end of the first month of the program, you then balance up with the remaining part of the payment, and you are sure that the benefits from our long-term relationship, our lifetime relationship, you get a lifetime access to your program materials, all your videos. You are always going to be able to access it regardless of any point in time we find ourselves. So that is what's on ground on offer. Okay, so who are the 10 people tonight? Again, I'm repeating, just 10 people tonight who are going to secure their slot with 70,000 naira. Okay, all you need to do would be to send a direct transfer to this bank account details on your screen. Okay, and you can see it in the chat box also. My team member, has posted some details in the chat box. So 70,000 naira to this particular bank account, Sterling Bank Niblet Analytics. Okay, and once you've done that, send the proof of payment to this WhatsApp number, and that's me. I will then personally enroll you for the program of your choice. Okay, and you can sit back and relax, and you are eligible to this particular offer. So okay, so while you are trying to be part of the 10 people tonight, before we close this particular session, okay, to secure your discount, okay, I will be taking questions in the chat box. Okay, so once you have secured your discounted slot, send me a message on WhatsApp, okay? And that's my number on the screen here. 0703 215 8619. 0703 215 8619. Secure your discount with 70,000 naira and then send me a WhatsApp message ASAP, and I'll give you further directions on enrollment. All right. So while you are doing that, and if you've done that, type it in the chat. Let us know so we can celebrate you while I take questions. Okay. So I can see Samuel Chibuike, your hand is up. So give me a second to allow you to unmute. All right, Samuel Chibuike, you can unmute your microphone and speak. Okay, unmute your microphone and speak. Ask a question.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my question is first of all, I want to thank you for the knowledge that you have passed. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, so my question is these job offers, do they require any academic certification?
Capital letter no. Okay, capital letter no. Now, recruiters, especially recruiters abroad, okay, they do not require your academic, whether you finish with a first class in engineering or you finished, you did Yoruba science back in school. It doesn't really matter. What they focus on is, you saw that portfolio that I showed you, Liberal Alawale's portfolio. That is what they need from you. They need you to also have a strong personal brand. For example, on LinkedIn, right? Have a strong personal brand that shows that, oh, you are who you say you are, you have the skills, and that earns you an interview. The moment you walk into the interview, all you are doing there is to defend that, oh, you did this, you really did this, you know, you have the skills you say you have. And once that is confirmed, you are given an offer. So it really doesn't have anything to do with uh, your academic background, not to talk of your academic background now being a requirement. So the tech ecosystem, your academic background does not form a requirement for you getting a job. I hope that answers the question, Samuel.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, brilliant. But Samuel, before you go, are you part of the 10 people who have secured their discounts?
No, not yet, sir.
Okay, so what's your plan? Can you quickly share your plan with me so that I know. So for the fact that you've asked the question, I just want to know your plans. What are your plans? Do you intend starting the 8th of March?
Yeah, sir, I would really love to start, but the financial situation is not helping at all. Seriously.
Okay, so what's this? Okay, is this something you want to discuss later? You want to discuss with me later? We can discuss that later, all right? So we can discuss that later, okay? Just ensure to send me a message, okay? So me and you can discuss that later to see how you can still benefit from the offer on ground so that you don't miss out. Because for you specifically, I wouldn't want you to miss out on this particular offer. Like I said, if you secure your slot, let me know in the chat box. Also send me a DM. All right. Okay, brilliant. So somebody's asking in the chat box. Okay. I'm sorry, but what if you're a student and you don't earn a lot? Woodwork. I wish I played Woodwork's video for you. That's Grace. Grace, who currently works at Sparkling after joining our program as a data analyst, she borrowed money from her mom to register for the program. Okay, she wasn't just like you or my family. All right, was not earning a lot. She got into the program. She she has since paid back the money, and she earns times two of what she was earning. And guess what? She works remotely. She used to go to the office before. Now she works from home. I have been working from home for the past close to 5 years now, and I can tell you point blank that that is one of the best things that has ever happened to me as a person. Okay, this is personally now, not career-wise. Working remotely, I can tell you, was one of the best things that ever happened to me as a man. So when you look at the opportunity costs that you are missing out, when I say opportunity cost, I mean the potential for you to earn in hard currency, the potential for you to earn a lot higher. When you look at this investment, it is close to nothing. So I'll tell you my candid advice of Buffett. My candid advice to you, Buffett, is ensure to benefit from this particular offer, okay? So that you get to benefit. Now, if you want a private call with me, there'll be a link in the chat now, okay, for you to book a session with me privately, one of them. Okay, you would have a session where you can ask further questions. You can tell me a lot more about your background, especially if you want to choose a career path. Okay, to help you choose a career path, you can have that discussion with me and we'll help you choose. All right, but meanwhile, take note, your discounted slot is going to be off once we hit 10 people. Okay, I have already secured my slot. Chinwe, congratulations. Did you just secure your slots tonight, or you secured your slots maybe yesterday or thereabouts? So if you've just secured your slot, Chinwe, send me a DM right now so that I can personally enroll you. All right, so send me a DM. I would love to enroll you into the program of your choice. I'll walk you through the next steps. Okay. So 0703, let me type it in the chat, 0703-215-8619. Oh, on Saturday. All right, so that's fine. If you haven't secured your slot, you need to secure your slot now. Just 10 people left and we are off, okay? So if you send me a DM, 0703-215-8619 WhatsApp, and I'll be super happy to have that discussion with you. All right. So do we have any other questions? Let me see. Please, how much can a data analyst earn on Upwork? Shegun, there is no cap for what you can earn on Upwork as a data analyst. Let me tell you. So on Upwork is a freelance platform. If you know what freelance is. So it's a platform where people come to buy your skills. Oh, you know how to build your reports. You know how to automate a report using Power BI, for example. There will be clients on Upwork who need your services and they pay for you to render the services. The sweetest thing about this is that you can work on several projects at any point in time. Okay, you can earn as high as $20,000 in a month. Okay, only business owners, okay, top business owners, global business owners earn that kind of money. All right, without a tech skill. So you use your skill, you use the opportunity for you to work on multiple projects. You use that to leverage that, and you can earn in high currency. So it's already attractive because you can earn dollars. All right. So, but it's very handsome, even if it's in dollars. So I hope that answers your question, Shegun. I hope you're still on the call. Okay, I can see you on the call. So I would love to know, Shegun, what your plan is. Also, have you already also secured your discount like Chinwe? I would love to know if that is. If you haven't, my candid advice would be to do that now. Okay. Except if this is not what you plan doing in 2025. But if your plan is to get into tech 2025, to level up in 2025, then take this. Okay, take this offer while it still lasts. So Shegun, I'd love to know what your plans are as I take other questions. All right. My network is breaking. I'm sorry for that. I prefer private discussion. All right. So to book a clarity slot, okay, just click on the link in the chat box now and book a slot with me. All right. But do well to secure discounts even before that, so that you don't come and then after we finally have chosen a career path for you, the discount is no longer available, and then you find yourself begging to get the discount, which will not be open. So I wish to do internship only. So Shegun, it doesn't work that way. All right, it doesn't work that way. So do you have a portfolio of projects you've worked on? Okay, I would love that you book a slot with me. Okay, book a slot with me for clarity. All right, so that we can have a discussion about what you just said, because there is a lot attached to getting the tech job, and if you miss one piece in the puzzle, everything is going to fall apart very fast. So let's have a discussion around that, so that we can clear the air on that area. Okay, so if you booked your slots as of now, congratulations on starting your journey. If you haven't, don't sleep on it. Okay, don't sleep on it. Midnight tonight, it's going off. Okay, midnight tonight, it's going off. Or once we reach the first 10 set of people, we are also going off. So things happen very fast. If you know this is something you want to do it now. Okay, somebody, who's that? Somebody wanted to say something. All right, if you don't say anything, you can raise your hand or let me know so that I can give you the permission to do that. All right, so maybe that's a mistake, but in the absence of any other question, I think this is where we call it a night. I was super glad to be here to share my expertise with you guys, and I hope that you got value for your time as well. Okay, so I'll see you in class March the 8th. Okay, the months are going very fast. 2025, we all knew when it started, right? Now we're talking about March. Okay, things are moving very fast. Before you know it, it's July, and the year is gone, just like that. So take that step, take that leap now, so that you can change your story. You can change your story immediately. What certification will be given? There is a certification that will be given to you, Gabriel, at the end of your program to show that you have successfully undergone a premium training like this, further showcasing your prowess in the space. All right, so you need to you get that certification at the end of your program. Okay, so I hope that answers all our questions for now. Don't forget to reach out. Okay, 0703-215-8619 once you've secured your slot, and I'll walk you through your enrollment personally. So see you during the clarity session if you booked a session with me. And I'd be enrolled in the professional certification recognized worldwide. So Gabriel, before we go off the call, let me quickly mention this. All right. Okay, Veronica rather. So there is something about the tech ecosystem, and we call it the PAP, proficiency above papers. Just remember PAP. I remember that Muhammad mentioned something around PAP. Proficiency above papers. If you were in the session earlier, you would have heard when somebody asked about, your academic certification, what does it mean, in tech? No recruiter, I repeat, no recruiter would hire you for a position simply because you have a specific certificate. Now, if you have a Microsoft Data Analytics certificate or a Power BI certified data analyst or whatever certificate it is you have, you must prove that you have the skills that you say you have, and that is the actual reason you will be hired. So the one who has, in as much as you'll be getting a certificate, all right, keep in mind that the person who has the skill, the person who can sell themselves well, okay, are the ones that eventually go on to get the jobs, all right, not the one who presents a specific certificate. If you have a certificate and you can't defend it, you are not making any progress, all right? So keep that in mind while you're pushing a specific certificate, all right? But yes, you get a certificate at the end of the program, okay? And that would mark the completion of a great journey with us here at Naviance Analytics. And of course, you start to benefit immediately from the ongoing support that we offer you at no extra cost. If you look at the value of what we offer, it is way more than the investments you're making. All right, and that's the difference. Okay, it all goes to show that we stand for Africans to ensure that premium tech training programs get accessible by Africans. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Okay, Sharon, you want to say something before we go? You can say that very quickly. Can I need to say it very quickly? So, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How
Can you
you
hear
doing?
me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Okay.
can.
I wanted to ask, do you people teach email management? Is it part of your course?
Email
Sorry, I
management.
wasn't able. Yes, I wasn't able to attend the class because I've been really, really busy. So I just wanted to know if you do email management. And this course is it the one that is available? This data science analysis and the rest.
Yes, so those are the three courses you're seeing on my screen.
Yeah.
Are the career paths that are available.
Are the what?
And yeah, these are the career paths that we currently help people to get into.
Okay,
And,
okay.
yeah,
Sorry,
so
the data science. What's it about?
okay, it shows that you came late to the session, all right? So this is what I'll do for you.
Yes, I'm so
Sharon.
sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
So this is what I'll do for you. Have you filled the attendance? First? Have you filled the attendance? Did you fill the attendance?
Sorry?
Did you fill the attendance?
Yes, I did. I filled the attendance form.
Okay, brilliant. So what you want to do, is, I don't know if you picked my phone number, all right? So you can just say, hi, this is Sharon. Okay, hi, this is Sharon from the session. Just say that in my email, 070 WhatsApp. Okay, that's my phone line.
Okay. I'll just take a screenshot of it now.
8619. Exactly. So you say hi to me, and we can have a phone call tomorrow. Okay, can have a phone call next week. These things to me. Right?
I can barely hear
All right.
you.
I hope you got that, Sham. Okay, you're in a noisy place, so it's likely
Yeah, so
that the noise will
I have to
not-
clear that. I don't know. Can't just close their mouth for 1 second.
So no issues. All right. Just send me a message and we'll take it up from there. Okay, we'll take it up from there. So I think this is where we'll call it a day or call it a night. I want to appreciate you guys for taking the time to get. I hope you got value for your time. If you want to ask any further questions, all you need to do is to send me a message. So can you mute your microphone, please, so that there is no distraction? All right. So ensure to send me a message if you have any other further questions you'd love to ask. This is what we call it a day. Don't sleep on this offer. You would not see this offer anywhere else. All right. So cheers and have a great night.